Come on, come on, come on. We are live. Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to Europe and maybe some early risers in California. If you are seeing this live stream on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, would you just say hello for a moment? It's always good to see who's watching. Although the number of people who join live streams actually decreases, it's the videos after or the video views after the live stream. But let's see who's up and about this morning and say hello. In just a few weeks, dealers from all around the country, tech companies are all going out to Las Vegas for the National Auto Dealer Association annual conference and exhibition. The vendor hall is like 2 football fields or 3, and there's a lot of money being invested this year to make up from last year's debacle with the weather that canceled so many flights. And well, even though everyone made the best of it, there was a lot of disappointment in many ways because meetings were canceled and showroom traffic for the exhibit hall was relatively low. So if you're looking for a great Vegas exhibit showing, just put in your comments. We need it. We need it. We like it. Come on, let's go. Good. I'm seeing some people type in. So I wanted to just share what I think are some of the hottest tech trends that will be themes at the show, because many times dealers will go out and not necessarily be on a target to buy something, but they want to see new things. With Zoom, the exhibit hall purpose has changed because now, without any travel, dealers can set up a demo and see product performance or talk and see in real time with their peers about products. So the exhibit hall oftentimes becomes now a discovery process where dealers are looking for thematic opportunities at the dealership. And recently I published a chart of all the CRM companies who are going to be at NADA, because I believe the CRM conversation will be one of the hot topics. Even though CRM technology has been out for a very long time, I'm coming out just before NADA with my national market research report on CRM. Let me just put up the QR code and there we go. Let me do it a little better this way. There you go. So if you're watching, go ahead and pick up your cell phone and scan that QR code, get on the wait list, because this report will be over 40 pages. It is a compilation of national dealer survey data. It is also a result of number of interviews I've had with dealership leaders, tech companies who are sharing their vision for the future for CRM technology. So if you would, why don't you get that research report, get on the wait list, just go to pashgroup.com, click on research, and you can do that and be the first to receive the report when it comes out. I'm anticipating the report's going to come out around January 28th, which is a week before NADA. Now, why do I think CRM is going to be a hot topic? Well, for many good reasons. Let me give you 3. Number 1, there has been a slowdown in innovation in automotive CRM. And with the interest, activity, and practical applications of AI, dealers for the last year or 2 have been trying to bolt in AI solutions, sales process mapping into AI, using automated bots for follow-up, much more advanced than the early days of Conversica. But the truth is, the CRM platform of the future is going to look very different than what we have today. And I believe at NADA, we're going to start to see the next gen CRM designs. There will be 3 new CRM companies launching at NADA. There will be some major updates from the CRM leaders, but also for the first time, you're going to see how disappointed dealers are with their current CRM platforms, with the exception that DriveCentric has pinned at the top most of the highest scores, except for Service CRM, because they didn't have one in the past. DriveCentric stands out pretty high above all other platforms. And then the question is, how are dealers talking about industry veterans like VIN Solutions or eLead, or relatively newcomer, but not new, Tekion CRM? What about Promax? What about a little known company for CRM, but known for other things, Tacobi? I think that dealers who are frustrated with how their sales opportunities are being logged, how they're being pursued, the quality of information given back to consumers, they're going to start to see some breakthroughs. Instead of being task workflow managed, these AI workflows and AI specialized agents are going to change the way we look at CRM. DriveCentric a few years ago came out and called themselves an engagement platform, where other people were still talking about lead follow-up. Think the CRM of the future will be a enterprise engagement platform across sales, service, F&I, receptionist, body shop, one communication tool, one engagement platform. That is not what exists today, but at NADA, you are going to see some vision casting, and dealers are going to have to determine which company they want to trust to bring them into that next generation. But mark my words, NADA 2028, the core CRM mindset and mentality that dealers have will be significantly shifted. Related to a revised vision for CRMs, thank you for commenting, by the way. I also believe that dealers are going to be looking for partners to create that unified customer profile, that golden record, the master record that all tech platforms used at the dealership will reference. Now, we've called these CDPs, or customer data platforms, because DMSs and CRMs were never designed for that. DMS, more like the QuickBooks, the transactional records, the CRM, the what have you done for me lately, get a car sold tool. But up until 3 years ago, when I started to write about CDPs, dealers didn't pay much attention to the fact that their first party data was fragmented, siloed, and dirty. I first started writing about the impact of dirty data, and others have done the same. There are a number of companies that have come out to talk about data hygiene and offer solutions to help dealers create that UCP. The challenge is it really a unified customer profile? And who decides what gets updated? Are dealers allowing any changes in the CRM just to update the UCP, and that will become dirty real quick? Are dealers filtering, testing, evaluating the quality of data from all their vendor partners to decide what's really important to go in the UCP, the unified customer profile? Because one of the trends at NADA will be AI. It's a hot topic, but dealers need to understand that before they implement any AI solution, they have to ask is, where are you getting your data from? And if the AI company is saying, oh, I'm getting it from your DMS and CRM, stop. You're going to open yourselves up for what I believe is unnecessary lawsuits. We need to think about AI in a more holistic way. If AI is going to be a communication assistant, a data intelligence layer, it needs to be across all the tech platforms. You'll see at NADA, Reynolds is going to be talking about their Spark AI, which is a data layer of AI across all their tools. You're going to see that more and more companies are looking to collaborate on data sharing. You'll see some new CDP vendors coming to market, like 4Eyes with their Connect CDP product. We'll get an update on where FullPath and Reynolds and Gubagoo with the Curator project. We're going to see better data activation and integration from companies like Client Command, who really create a competitive edge against any CDP on the market, because they're not only organizing dealers' first-party data, but they're providing a unique, high-quality audience of consumers who are shopping right now, their customers and prospects, for the cars that that dealer's selling. I think dealers are starting to realize that if they're only working on deterministic identity resolution from form fills or email clicks, it will take an awful long time for them to know when their existing customers are back on their website. So we're going to see some interesting case studies, companies like Launch Labs and others who are working on identity spines that can complement deterministic identity resolution. There's a lot of new tech all around this idea of unified customer profile. Who owns it? How is it maintained? And is it open and shareable? Because without it, all the buzz about AI becomes somewhat meaningless, because the recommendations, the communication, and the content that's pushed out by AI will be inaccurate, maybe not relevant, or not timely. So thank you for making more comments. So another theme is AI, but please don't separate AI from the movement of CDPs and having a unified customer profile, that golden record. My concern is that new companies coming into the CDP market don't have the experience or mindset or rules to determine which data sources have priority, seniority, how to rate the quality of different data sources. And if you're not sure what I'm saying, let me give an example. Yes, you can pull in your call data from your call tracking platform. You can pull in website data. You can pull in video camera data showing which cars came on the lot. Bring in data from the DMS, from the CRM. You can bring in data from Experian or Equifax or Axiom. Data hygiene services from Automotive Masterminds. But who gets to decide how all of those data feeds are updating the uniform customer profile, the unified customer profile, the UCP? So I believe a conversation that's going to be hot at NADA is AI with UCP and AI as a platform data layer across all tools. Now, what else will be a hot topic on the tech stack, at least on the areas that I cover? I also believe that the digital voice assistants or AI platforms that are doing inbound and outbound calling are going to be a hot topic at NADA. I mean, the days of Brooke and Stella, which were kind of at their time groundbreaking technology, now there's over a dozen digital voice assistants that have come to market. Now, if you go to pashgroup.com, we have a digital voice assistant directory page listing all the top digital voice assistants, these AI assisted voice companies. Now, some of them are doing more than voice, they're doing texting and emailing. But I want you to understand again, these tools need some centralized connector to know, is this person on the do not call list? Did this person specifically opt out recently from receiving emails or text messages? So the UCP even comes back into this digital voice assistant topic, meaning you can't control the quality, cadence, and effectiveness of communication if everyone's working in different data silos. So when you're talking to a CDP company, when you're talking to a data management company, when you're talking to a CRM company, when you're talking to a digital voice assistant company, you have to ask yourself, where's your record of truth for each customer? Can we call them? Can we text them? Can we communicate only in certain channels? It's an interesting topic. You see, the industry has a problem because of how many data silos, 10 or 15 different software products having each little piece of the customer journey. If you're not familiar with customer data platforms, go to pashgroup.com, download the market research report I did on automotive CDPs. It's an automotive CDP planning guide. We will be updating that report after NADA because there's been a lot of updates with companies like Pure Cars, Full Path, Client Command. You know, there's new introductions to new tech companies, of course. You have companies like Force Marketing, Team Velocity, Stream. I could keep on going on. And of course, big players like Treasure Data, Techion, and some unique partners like Orange Media Group with Techion and Clarivoy with Treasure Data. There's a lot of players that are going to be at NADA talking about how their company can help unify, clean, and keep your data up to date. Another theme, I believe, is data as a service. And thank you for commenting. Data as a service. So when you think of companies like Automotive Masterminds or S&P Global Mobility as a larger company with Polk and Carfax and other specific like market scan data for OEMs and dealers, I think you're going to see a little shift. You're going to see it slightly, is that companies are morphing to create real-time data services instead of, hey, send me a file, I'll append it, or send me this file and I'll scrub it. I think you're going to see, especially the vision that Aaron Baldwin has for Automotive Masterminds. Don't think of them as an equity or retention company. That's one element. But, you know, for example, for the Morgan Auto Group, they're doing all the data hygiene in real time for their CDP. They're also taking their modeled prediction scores and appending that into the CDP to give all marketing agency partners insights and which customers are most likely to buy. Boy, it's dry in here today. There's going to be a shift. Data as a service. Why? Because dealers never had a CDP before. They never had bidirectional APIs before. They didn't have platforms that were more open than closed. So they could never do data integration partnerships. When you start to see the theme of, if we have a unified customer profile that can be updated in real time, like things from Urban Science, daily sales data on which cars were purchased by consumers to clean out the CRM from what we would call defection data. Where was that car buyer journey that the dealer lost that opportunity? The fact that in the CDP now we can have Automotive Masterminds BPS scores, we can have Urban Science defection data on a daily basis. That allows the CRM powered by agentic workflows to really switch what we should be talking to a customer. If someone's in an active lead follow-up process or an engagement process, Urban Science data comes in and says, hey, they bought a car down the street at a competing dealer. Instantly, the UCP can be updated each day. The agentic workflows can see that there's been a major change in the buying intent signal. Okay, they're not in the buying signal, move them automatically to a service workflow. This is the future. It's not what are my people doing and are they doing a good job communicating? It's more like the agent of the future, the sales associate of the future is, are they leveraging all the opportunities that are being surfaced up, all the relevant information? Are they confirming, guiding, and helping the customer with their partnership with these agentic workflows? It's not lead management, it's lifecycle management. It's an engagement platform across sales and service and F&I and the showroom and every touch point. That's really the future. Dealers have never had that before because it's like, well, we have one tool for sales and another tool for service. Then we have another tool for loaner scheduling, another tool for desking, another tool for F&I, another tool for warranty, another tool for recall, another program for equity mining. And you could understand why having a UCP, that unified customer profile, is going to be so important for AI. So data as a service, real time, the growth of CDPs will continue. The significant understanding about the quality of audiences generated through identity resolution, whether it's deterministic or probabilistic, and if it's probabilistic, who are the best partners that have real active shopping data like Client Command does. The ability to rethink what your CRM can do. These are all themes that I believe are going to be really at the core of the tech stack discussions at NADA. I'm going to say one last thing. You know, for the most part, the DMS landscape has been pretty stable. CDK, Reynolds, Dealertrack, and in the last few years, Tekion. And of course, there's many other DMS platforms out there, Dealer Built and Autobase and others. But I am seeing something that's worth considering. Is that, and we've seen some of this in the news, some of the larger dealer groups seem to be ready to adopt the Tekion vision for the future. And it's taken Tekion longer to deliver on some of the adjacent software tools that dealers need. I think Tekion's on their third iteration of their CRM. And what's interesting is I was talking to a dealer leader, and they have a good number of stores. Let's just say between 40 and 70 stores. And they're moving to Tekion DMS. And I said, what are you doing with CRM? I said, well, we're going to go with Tekion CRM. And I said, why? It's like, well, we like the unified data structure, the integration, even though the CRM is not up to speed with what we've been using for the last 10 years. I think they'll get there in the future. And this is super important. When dealers are willing to sacrifice some things on their CRM for a bigger data story, I think that's a significant signal that Tekion has now got enough experience in the marketplace, enough case studies, enough happy customers that since the CRM is so critical to day-to-day sales, so critical, that people would be willing to be a little more patient until maybe some of the features get caught up. I do know that Techion's revamping, completely redesigning their digital retailing. I don't have too much insights on their latest version of CRM, but I just thought as an interesting signal that maybe people who have said, well, Techion hasn't really invaded market share as maybe as fast as other people thought in the DMS, say CRM world. I think 2026 could be an inflection point where things are accelerated. The problem I hear is that they have too many customers and the backlog is too strong. It's an interesting dynamic, and it's a wake-up call for CDK. It's a wake-up call for Reynolds. It's a wake-up call for Cox, that if their backlog is so strong and dealers are now moving into DMS with maybe a willingness to not have all the features they have today, I think that's a big statement. And that will be part of the conversation at NADA as well. What I do know is that Reynolds and Cox are not sitting back and resting on their laurels. They have some great tech to unveil at NADA. I don't know too much about CDK's plans, and I'm hoping to get some additional insights this week, but I've shared my thoughts. What are your thoughts? What are some of the additional themes that you believe from technology now, tech stack? What's important that you think dealers should put on their shopping list in addition to the items that I've shared? I've decided not to have a booth this year for the Pash Group. We do have a hospitality suite. So if you're a dealer group looking to get some outside advice on rebuilding your tech stack or directing your data future, if you have some questions on the quality of services of vendors in the tech community, or just need some advice on how to move those inventory levels much lower, keep cash flow generating, I'll be at NADA. I'll give you a link. We can set up a time to meet at NADA. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed my insights. And don't forget to download the CRM research report and the CDP planning guide. Both are available at pashgroup.com. Just go to research, reserve your copy of the CRM report, and you can get the CDP planning guide immediately. Look forward to your feedback in the comments, or just email me, Brian@brianpash.com. Have a great day.